And we're live with another episode of the Summer Sessions. Welcome back, guys. Hopefully you had a great weekend. Hopefully you took some time to rest, recharge, and get back to your normal self. Hopefully you took some time to celebrate America on the 250th. I had a really low-key weekend, to be totally honest with you. I feel like the past couple 4th of Julys I've gone out with my buddies, hit the bars really hard, and this weekend I think as you get older things start changing, and I just kind of hung out with my family this weekend. And it was actually really, really fun. We didn't do anything crazy. Had a couple beverages, watched the fireworks, and it was actually a great 4th of July. I feel like it was a good... by the way, this is starting to happen. I don't know if you guys have noticed this at all from watching these. This has started to happen, and I don't know if it's a getting older thing. I don't know if it's an unk thing. I don't know what it is, but as you get older, I'm finding you hit the transition from the ankle on the knee to just the full cross. And I don't know why this is, but it has got to stop. Because the amount of times I've been hanging out or with people, and I hit the, oh yeah, that's interesting, and you can feel the energy shift. This is an energy shifting leg movement, no matter what room you're in, and it's got to come to a stop. I got to stop doing that. No, but it was a great 4th of July. Hopefully you guys had a great 4th of July. Hopefully you were able to, like we talked about on the Friday episode, take the things that may be ailing you, maybe the things that have been bothering you, and put them to the side for a moment and focus on yourself and do some things that made you happy. Hopefully you had some beers, and hopefully you watched some World Cup and bet on some games, because how about those Sunday night games? And first, I want to start with thanking Neymar. As someone that grew up playing soccer and, it became my favorite sport when I was in high school, played it all year round. I was never great at it, but I played a lot of it. Neymar was the guy that when I was little I was infatuated with. Every FIFA I had, I remember the first FIFA I had, he was on Santos, and my ultimate team had to have him on that right or left wing. I didn't care. I had a full Premier League team and then red chemistry with Neymar on the right or left wing, and it was just sad to see him play his last game. It was cool to see him score. I didn't like that the goalie was calling him trash. I don't know if you guys saw that. All the lip reading has come out, and the goalie was basically calling him trash. And then Neymar was like, "Where do you want me to put it? Where do you want me to put it?" And then just buried it because Neymar is who Neymar is from the penalty spot. But it was awesome to see him score in his final game. But it was just a bummer to see his international career come to an end. Just because of the moments he's had. I feel like, it's pretty widely known. He had to pretty much shoulder the worst Brazilian generations ever. Like, literally ever in its history. The fact that Endrick missed that wide open shot, the fact that in the first half you have a guy like Vinicius Jr., who plays for Real Madrid, who's played in the biggest games, who's played in the biggest moments, who's scored on the biggest stage, not take that penalty, and you let Bruno, a center defensive mid, take a massive penalty in a World Cup knockout stage against a goalie that up to that point has proved he's playing on his head, was just insane to me. And it was so frustrating. And I'm sitting there trying to speak Portuguese because I got Brazil as my World Cup champion. I didn't know Rafinha was going to get hurt. I didn't know Rafinha's dad was going to be siphoning all of his money and he was going to realize it on the World Cup stage. But it was just such a bummer, dude. It was such a bummer of a game. I mean, you got to give your flowers are due. Haaland is just a scientific freak. I don't even, they must have made him in a lab. There are just some athletes where you look at them and you go, you're just not a real person. You had to have been made in a lab. I got Victor Wembanyama's up there, that's lab made. Yao Ming, that's lab made. Erling Haaland, that's lab made. LeBron James might be lab made. But it's like you just look at some of these athletes, you go, dude, you have to have been made in an absolute lab. And watching Erling Haaland, I'm in my head, he only touched the ball 2 times that entire game. Both of them were goals. And if you're Gabrielle, all the talk about going into this game is that Erling Haaland has pretty much owned you up till this point in your career. Every time that Arsenal plays Man City, he scores on you and he owns you. If you're Gabrielle, you have to give 250,000% to make sure Erling Haaland doesn't score. At least doesn't score. You can lose that game and Odegaard scores or someone else scores, but you cannot allow Haaland to score. And of course, he scores. The first goal was just a classic header. Second goal was one of the most absurd goals I've ever seen. Picked it up almost at midfield, 3 touches, turned across his body, 200 miles per hour, up bottom right across body, through someone's legs. That was just absurd. It was just absurd, and he's just absurd. And Norway is just absurd. But man, it was a bummer to watch Neymar go out like that, man. I had a moment last night where I shed a singular tear. I shed one tear. I don't know if you guys have ever done that. It's only like when sports things happen, or like if I'm watching like a movie or like a TV show, and the emotion cracks me in the right way. I don't bawl. It'll just be a singular tear. And last night I was like, you like one tweet, and the X algorithm is like a goddamn hunter. You like that one tweet, and it just feeds you like multiple tweets of the same thing. So I was just watching like 6-minute, 5-minute, 4-minute clips of Neymar's career, and like all these, it's just like translated from Portuguese, and it's like, I'll always remember you. And I'm watching all these Neymar highlights, just shedding a singular tear, and it's like, damn, like we're really not going to be able to see Neymar play again. And I think, that's why getting old sucks when you're a sports fan, is all your favorite athletes at some point or another that you watch when you were a kid, they start to lose it a little bit, and then they have to hang them up, and you have to watch them go through that, and it's just such a bummer watching him go out like that, because he was just such a joy to watch for years. I remember when he first signed for Barcelona. I remember the Hypervenoms. I bought a pair of Hypervenoms. I was like, dude, I need these Hypervenoms. I bought a different colorway of Hypervenoms when he started wearing the green ones. I was like, dude, I need the green ones. But it was just like, man, to watch him go out on that stage and lose to Norway in a World Cup that I feel like was very winnable for Brazil. It's just a total bummer, and I hope it inspires a generation of Brazil. I wish I could go over to Brazil, to the favelas, and be like, boys, you need to play like Neymar. Like, I need another generation of Neymars, because he is a dying breed in the sport of soccer, and I think that's why it's so upsetting. Like, he played so free. He wanted to do the skills. He wanted to do the tricks. He played like a true Brazilian soccer player, and I think it's it's kind of a dying breed. You don't really see Vinny Jr. playing the way Neymar played, coming deep to pick up the ball, taking on a man every time he touched it. Like, it's just a dying breed, and to watch him kind of go out in his last game, I mean, it was definitely poetic. He played his last game where he played his first, he scored his last goal where he scored his first, so definitely poetic and sad. But thanks for the career, Neymar, and then see you later, Brazil. I just did a brutal bet. I just have a habit in these big tournaments, whether it be the Super Bowl, the World Cup, of picking the team that really should get it done, and then just, Rafinha's dad is stealing his money, Lucas Paqueta gets kicked in the face for whatever reason, Carlo Ancelotti leaves Joao Pedro home and brings Hendrick, and Hendrick just poops down his leg for 3 games. It's just, it's just my luck, is what it comes down to. But how about that Mexico-England game? I mean, there are not many games that were crazier than that Mexico-England game. 5 goals, red cards, yellow cards, Jordan. I can't get over the fact that Jordan Henderson snapped his arm after the game. He got a yellow card from the stands. And then after the Wonderwall celebrations, went to jump over the wall. And I don't know if you guys have watched the video. If you're squeamish, do not watch the video. His arm slips on the little advertisement wall. And as he's going down, his body the full weight falls on his arm, and it just bends the wrong way. It literally snapped in half. But I mean, just brutal stuff. It's like, imagine him calling his wife after that game. It's like, honey, they're taking me to the emergency room. I broke my arm. It's like, she's not a big soccer fan. She supports him, obviously, but like doesn't watch the games. She's like, oh my gosh, like what happened in the game? It's like, oh no, nothing. I just got a yellow card and then broke my arm, but I didn't play. You didn't what? How'd you get a yellow card, break your arm, and not even play a minute of soccer? Like, what are we talking about? But shout out Jordan Henderson, man, that's incredible. No, but that England-Mexico game was unbelievable. I think, there's been a lot of complaining about that red card on social media that Kwanzaa got. I think in the P's and Q's, the I's and T's of soccer, that's absolutely a red card, just because you're putting your studs in a dangerous position. Like, your studs should never be above ankle high, and before his leg rolled over on that ball, they were pretty much already shin high, which is just a silly challenge for him to be going in on like that when you're leading in the game. But again, just the heart that England showed to go down to 10 men for 50 minutes. He got lost at 53. They lost him to a red card. And that game went on to the 103rd minute to defend the homestead, to protect the house, and to hold your ground for 50 minutes on a soccer field against a team that's just whipping balls in, shooting from wherever. That is one of the most nails achievements I think I've ever seen done in the sport of soccer. Like, to just hold the homestead for that long is insane. And The engines of Anthony Gordon, Jude Bellingham, and Declan Rice need to be studied. I don't think I saw Anthony Gordon stop running the entire game. 103 minutes, I don't think I saw Anthony Gordon give up on one ball. I don't think I saw Anthony Gordon give up on one play. And that is, I understand now why Barcelona bought the kid from Newcastle. That couldn't be more white. And when you look at that Barcelona team is going to be the funniest team of all time. You're going to have Rafinha. You're going to have all the guys on Barcelona, and then just Anthony Gordon out wide. But, no, I mean, you got to give England so much credit. That was just like an incredible, like, way to hold your ground, way to stand firm. Way to hold the homestead, way to protect the house, way to defend the crib. Like, that was just the epitome of bend, don't break. And then I was going through, if anyone follows me on Instagram, every time England plays, I get a new text from a new person that says, dude, you look like Declan Rice on England. So I just had to throw up the poll. And then I was just, I'm sitting there, I'm in shambles because Brazil lost. I'm watching Mexico play England, and I'm just sitting there like, dude, is this what it's come to? I look like an auraless center defensive midfielder that can't push forward, that tactically has to drop into the lines because he's just as good as defending as he is deep lying playmaker. And it was a total. I felt like I lost on my aura because I played center attacking mid and I played wing when I played soccer. So it's like to look like a center defensive mid that just does the dirty work. I was like, dude, I've lost my aura. This is it. This is the end. This is the end of Mikey Overs if I look like Declan Rice. And then you watch that game and I was like, you know what? As I've matured. Started to fall in love with the glue guy. Started to fall in love with the role player, with the guy that comes off the bench, gives you 30 minutes. And I was like, you know what, dude? That's actually sick. Defending the homestead and, like, protecting the house, holding the home, that's, like, way cooler than scoring a goal. So now I'm like, me and Declan are one. Me and Declan Rice are now one person. So that also happened in my life. But yeah, this weekend's games was crazy. That Cape Verde game was nuts. We were losing power down the Jersey Shore, so we were going in and out trying to watch that game. And the fact that a right back that was playing left back was that high up the pitch and took the shot from where he took it for Cape Verde was one of the most insane shots I've ever seen in my life. That was like the perfect soccer shot. That's like in FIFA, the shot that you dream of tying the game up with. The fact that he, like, in the hypervenoms, by the way, so nails, just caught it perfectly, and how far out, that's how you know the sign of a really good shot and a really good soccer player when they try to bend the ball, is how far outside the shot starts, and then how quickly it whips down and in. His ball, when he shot that, started at the corner flag. It was that far out. And by the time it started to bend and whip down, it was like, it was the perfect shot. Like literal teach tape soccer shot. If you wanted to whip one in, like as a left wing, that's what they teach you. Not as like a right back that had to play left back that was pushing forward. Like also the audacity to go for that shot is just absurd. But I'll tell you what, dude, something about 250 just gets me fired up. There's, obviously 4th of July every year gets you fired up, but there's just something about just America making it to 250 and like all the videos that come out, all the memes, like everyone hanging out, everyone with the flags, like there's just something special about 250, and the fact that the US of A gets to play on its 250th year against Belgium, who the last time we met in a knockout stage put it on us. Tim Howard had to set the World Cup record for saves. The fact that we get to face them in our 250th year, there's just something right about that. So let's get to the picks. Let's get to what we're taking today. I'm feeling good about today's picks. Yesterday was kind of a disaster. I mean, I kind of had to just unload the farm on Brazil. They obviously didn't do anything. And then the over in the England game was just, I mean, whenever a team hasn't conceded a goal in X amount of games and it comes to a really big game and they're playing a really good opponent, they're just due to concede. Because it's not that they're a bad team playing a good team, it's just that the stakes are that much higher, and if you make a mistake, the team is good enough to be able to pounce on your mistakes. And that's just what happened with Mexico. I mean, other than Harry Kane just being absolutely nails at the sport of soccer, they just got caught. They got caught out too many times. Jude Bellingham had an unbelievable game. I mean, it seemed like Jude Bellingham was everywhere. It seemed like if I opened the door to like a closet in the house, Jude Bellingham would be in that closet. Like he was just all over the field. which was cool to watch, which was cool to see when a player's like that dialed in. But we start today with Portugal versus Spain. Portugal's plus 180 to qualify for the next round. I just don't know what I want to do in this game. Spain really, I'll be honest, Spain has not been what I thought they were going to be, to be totally honest with you. Spain has just not been what I thought they were going to be. They look really good, but they have not been as dominant as I thought they were going to be and as I thought they should be. And now you're playing a Portugal team that also has not looked good at all. This Portugal team, for the talent that they have in that midfield, for the talent that they have in attack, I don't know why Rafael Leao hasn't started every single game. When he started last game, it seemed like the entire offense was revolutionized because he is really that fast and he can really change the game on a dime. But they look horrible. I don't know what it is about Portugal. They can have all the talent in the world, but it just seems like they don't play well together. It seems like they don't play for each other. But I'm definitely going to take the over 2.5. That's an absolute tactical whale. That's going to be my first wager of the day for that game. I love that over 2.5. It's minus 192 though, so might have to audible to 3.5. I hate when they do that, dude. Honestly, I don't hate 3.5. I'll take 3.5 for plus chicken. Plus 168. I don't mind that. I could see this being a 2-2 game. Spain really hasn't looked that great. Portugal hasn't really looked that great. I wouldn't be shocked if this game kind of opens up a little bit for both teams. And we're kind of sitting there going, holy crap, I can't believe how open this game is. I don't hate betting on the draw if you're feeling like that game's going to draw. If I had to put meat on the line, I wouldn't be shocked if Portugal gets through just because the Ronaldo versus Messi matchup that could be loading would feed families for generations, and I kind of want to root for that. So if I was rooting for one, I'd pick Portugal. I don't hate Rafael Leao to score or assist. If he's up there, he's not, which is just so annoying because Joao Felix plays in front of him. Joao Felix to score or assist actually isn't bad because then you get Rafael Leao for the super sub if you use certain books. I obviously don't hate Nico Williams to score or assist for Spain. He kind of unlocks a lot for them. Yeah, over 3.5 would probably be my only real wager in this game. I wouldn't hate a sprinkle on Portugal to advance to the next round at plus 180 just because you're getting plus chicken on a game that's probably going to be closer than I think. But let's get to the game that matters, dude. I'm dropping Wales on the U.S. to advance. I got news for you. I'm dropping Wales on the U.S. to qualify for the next round. I don't care. We're minus 124. Screw this Belgian team. Screw the Belgian FA. Screw FIFA. This is just the boys on the 250th. This is just the boys getting ready to go to battle one more time for the Stars and Stripes against Belgium and just get back in blood what we lost with Tim Howard and Michael Bradley and Jermaine Jones. This is what it's about. This is what we live for as sports fans. This is what we live for as U.S. soccer fans. I'm taking the U.S. to qualify for the next round, minus 124. And I'll tell you what, I'm taking the U.S.'s team total over 1.5. This is our tournament. This is our year. This just feels legitimately like our year. And I'm in on it. I'm in on our over 1.5. I'm in on us to qualify for the next round. If I had to pick someone to score or assist, it's going to be Balogun. You might as well just click the button. You know he's going to do it. All the controversy, the suspended red card, which, by the way, if you're one of these people on Twitter that's saying that Balogun shouldn't play and this is the... So I saw someone tweet that said, like, if you're Balogun, you shouldn't play because this is the epitome of corruption. And, you know, I saw another guy be like, this is the epitome of why Donald Trump's a bad president because, you know, he's putting his hands where they shouldn't be and this is totally desecrating the sport. Like, I don't know if... For those of you that have just started watching soccer, FIFA has been the most corrupt organization for what feels like literally 3 decades. For what feels like a century, FIFA's been the most corrupt. And now it has finally somewhat gone our way. Also, it should have never been a red card. You're not allowed to look at the replay in slow-mo as a VAR. You're not allowed to look at stills as the replay as VAR, and that's what they did. So when they take that red card back, it's not because of the call or because of the replay. It's because of how they went about video assistant refereeing it, which is just by the book illegal the way that they did it. So that should have come back. But if you're one of these people that's complaining about it, that's American, that's saying he shouldn't play or that it shouldn't be rescinded, you know, just, you're the worst. You're just like genuinely the worst person ever. It should have never been a red card. If you watch the play in real time, it should have never been a red card. If you watch it in slow motion, you think it's a red card, you're an idiot. Like, it's just one of those things where if you don't think he should play, if you think he should be suspended, I'm going to have to agree with Dave Portnoy. You should be deported. You should just be deported because we're about to go to battle against Belgium. And if you're over here rooting against us, you're definitely not with us. So just stay on, root for Belgium. Throw a Belgian jersey on if you feel that strongly about it. But it should have never been a red card. So, that's just silly. Other than Flo. I'm going to take Christian Pulisic to score assist. That just feels like this could be his game. And I absolutely love feeling like this is going to be his game. This is the game where Alexi Lalas, after all the comments of tattooed millionaires and the golden generation, this is the game where if you're Christian Pulisic, you put our country on your goddamn shoulders, you feed Balogun, and you go do what we've been saying about you for the past 8 years, and you just be the guy. And you be the goddamn guy. And I just feel it. I can feel it in my bones. This Belgian team is old. This Belgian team doesn't have it anymore. And we're going to come in here and we're going to avenge what happened in the last World Cup. And I can't wait. So those would be the plays. I'm taking Balogun to score, Pulisic to score, assist, USA team total, and USA to qualify. Other than that, I know we like betting on baseball, guys, but it's just like, what are we doing betting on baseball? You know what I mean? Like, there's just no point. Which, by the way, also, if you listen to Pixapalooza episode, cash the system, the Indiana Fever, smacked in the jaw. We wanted some baseball. I'm going to take the Phillies minus the 1.5. I'm going to take Yankees money line. And I'm going to take the Mets to bounce back with Peralta money line plus 112. Those would be the 3 baseball wagers for today. A little bit of Mikey Core, guys. Mondays are the toughest. Mondays are the toughest because it feels like everything that we were able to relax from, everything that we feel like we were able to escape, everything that we feel like we were able to, somewhat work our way through the weekend and kind of not really think about the things, it all comes flooding in when that alarm sounds on Monday. And all the things we've been stressing about and worrying about, they all go from the back of our mind to the front of our mind. And I think that's okay. And I think sometimes you wake up on a Monday and you go, God damn it, dude. Like, everything that I was just worried about that I just didn't even think about this weekend, now it's all I can think about. And, I think that's okay because that's going to happen because the weekend is the time for you to kind of take that time to escape those things. And Monday, unfortunately, is just the first day of the week where you have to face everything again. And I think, I just want you guys to know you're stronger than whatever it is that you're fighting, and you're going to get through it. And it might be a long road, it might be a short road, it might be a hard road, it might be an easy road. Whatever it is, I know for a fact you're going to get through it, and you're going to be stronger than whatever it is that's pushing against you. And just keep going. Put one foot in front of the other. I know how hard it can be to take a step forward, but if we take a step forward every single day of the year, imagine how far along we're going to be this time next year. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.